It is speaking of a particular language other than your mother tongue or your native tongue. That is speaking in tongues. You see, speaking in tongues is in the Bible if it is really speaking in tongues. Speaking in tongues, for you to understand, is the tongue there is another tongue. To speak in tongue is to speak in another tongue. For example, you are an American, then you speak in other tongues which is strange, which is not your own native tongue, that is speaking in tongue. As it is recorded in the book of Acts, when the apostles, who are all Galileans, spoke in Galilean language, and what they have spoken was by the power of the Holy Spirit reached the ears of the listeners in their own native tongue. Let us read that, Brother Daniel.
And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born?
They marveled because the apostles were speaking in Galilean, but they are hearing it in the tongues wherein they were born. That is speaking in tongues. But now, the pastors and the members of religious denominations that espouse the belief of speaking in tongues now speak of things which nobody knows. Speaking in tongue in the Bible is, for example, the Filipino tongue, the American tongue, the British tongue, the Australian tongue. There are different languages or tongues. When you say speaking in tongue, is speaking in language or in dialects of different nations or people. And it happened during the time of the apostles. They were Galileans. As they speak Galilean, the words that they speak were automatically translated into the tongue of the hearers, in the tongues wherein they were born, according to those who have heard the apostles when they have spoken in tongues. So, it is speaking of a particular language other than your mother tongue or your native tongue. That is speaking in tongues. What the preachers now, or these groups now that claim to speak in tongues, are speaking of things which you cannot find anywhere on earth. Because they are not really languages or dialects. They are invented expressions.